Militia forces are using unauthorized remote terminals in an attempt to destroy the Spectre production line. Keep Bliss patched in and he will be able to... Once we have control, all Spectre forces on the assembly line will be activated, and the terrorists will have nowhere to run.
This is Mayhem 2-1. First Spectre squad is on the ground and raking hell.
Hello and welcome back everyone to Last Level Press. I'm Mr. Black and I'm joined as always by Ghost Protocol in the conclusion of Let's Play Titanfall. I'm all over it. Alright. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, the mini cutscenes are unfortunately prone to cutting off mid-play should one die. And so to kind of catch up anyone confused as to what was cut off in the previous episode, McAllen, the
channel timed out.
renegade, sounds as though Ghost has timed out, which is unfortunate. The renegade IMC agent essentially sacrificed himself in the radiation of that core and attempted to pass off the leadership of the militia to, I presume, his old friend, one of my current leaders.
Commander Bliss, we are receiving a hailing signal on a private...
And again, that's another cut-off comm because I died. That is abhorrently terrible design. Because it essentially precludes one from experiencing the full narrative, even though in a competitive game where it is expected that one will die mid-match, from experiencing the full narrative if one dies mid-match. And I'll call it out, that is absolutely terrible design. Why on earth was that decision made? Because it disarms the entire experience of its depth, what little depth there is to be had. Ah! I just got smeared. And so, this representing the conclusion of the narrative, I'm left feeling as though I completely understand now why this game was praised for its controls and for its mechanics. However, it was heavily criticized for furthering the usual unfortunate trend of paper-thin or simply non-existent narratives in the FPS genre over the last console generation, at least a couple of generations actually. And how that only seems to get worse.
I want to end the war.
And I want to not die.
Yeah? Then fight harder. Maybe you will. Quickest way to end it is to wipe out everyone who stands against you.
So wait, is that implying that...
Pilot, you're approaching Alpha. I've gained access. Neutralizing all hostile specters in the area.
Is that implying he accepted McAllen's offer? And actually defected? I think it is. I think that's an attempt at character development. However, I only know these characters from these sparse few cutscenes they've appeared in, and so while I kinda like that, it really fails to draw me into any of the drama inherent to that narrative, as I've simply not received enough opportunities to start caring for those characters. And I know there's the usual dismissive comeback to that, as it's an FPS game, who cares? FPS games can have solid stories, and I think they should, if a story is there at all. I can cite a number of series for solid stories. Halo, Killzone, that's across the console fence! The entire spectrum allows for a significant depth to even FPS narratives, and it's as I mentioned earlier, as though the story of Titanfall were just a pretense to set up these climactic, epic mech combat matches, and it just seems like a little too late, which is very unfortunate. However, I recognize as well that the campaign in this game is not necessarily the primary draw. It's the multiplayer competition. However, that is not necessarily...
have to be against each other, Bliss. It could be us against the machines. Then how are we going to ever know who's better? No person is better than another, Bliss. I disagree. You kill me, you're better. I kill you, I'm better.
That logic, though. I think it's, and he's anticipating Skynet, I think. It's a matter of the campaign is not the primary draw to this game due to the fact that it lacks a significant campaign. So I don't think it was necessarily a foregone conclusion to anticipate that the campaign would not be a draw and to therefore not focus on it. I think that was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy if such was amongst the mentality of the design staff. So, welcome back, Ghost, by the way.
Thank you.
I've simply been kind of attempting to condense my thoughts into a conclusion on the narrative, since one can kind of consider this the close of it, as I know one can actually complete the campaign as either side, and from what little I saw of the Militia side cutscenes when we were playing in preparation to start this at the proper start, I kind of like those a little more.
We could always play it all over again.
I'm not sure I'm up for that.
You change your uniform like you're changing socks.
Because it is completely different.
Faceless machines and people like you who fight only for a paycheck. We will win.
Yep.
I'll fight you for.
I'll fight you for free, was the cutoff line. I remember that line. And again, the cutoff. Why the cutoff? I am, like, legit pissed at that. And apparently I was kicking significantly more ass when I was playing previously than I am now, because I never realized that cutoff thing until recently. So I was able to watch and experience some of those cutscenes when we weren't recording, so I'm simply disappointed. Although, I like the visual design of these robots, the Spectres. They kind of remind me a little of the visual design of Anubis, and Ch.10 to a slight degree, from the old Zone of the Enders series, an underappreciated Hideo Kojima series from the older era of Sony products. Hey guys, catch. Aw, I missed! The grenade bounced more than I thought it would.
Mission terminated. All pilots head for the evac point.
I'm on it! Dropship.
Command confirmed. All stored Spectre combat assets set to self-destruct. Stand by.
I need to flank around. So I have half a minute to reach evac. Come on, wall run. Oh yes! Nailed it.
Repeat.
Alright, come on.
All stored Spectre combat assets
Make it!
set to
Yes!
self-destruct.
No,
Approach
no,
with
no,
caution.
no, no. Oh no, I'm stuck! I'm stuck!
Shutting down
I'm stuck!
transmission with the enemy.
I wasn't getting us anywhere anyhow. His forces were stronger.
I'm not sure I can make that. Actually, I can. Oh no, I'm not sure I can. It's leaving in 7 seconds. Nope, nope. I cannot make that. I made it! What? What the hell? I am not sure what just... Oh, I saw ride, and I thought it meant ride the evac. It meant ride the zipline. I martyred myself for the cause.
All IMC forces, this is your Vice Admiral. Designation, Spyglass. The destruction of Demeter and the loss of many robotics factories has put us on a defensive footing. Although reinforcements from the core systems are unable to reach us, battle projections indicate we are still an effective fighting force. Our garrisons continue to maintain order on the frontier. Until we are relieved, we will remain vigilant. We will adapt, and we will prevail.
So, Spyglass is kinda turning into the sort of Skynet sort of entity that he feared. Alright, so it seems those fears were not entirely ill-founded. Alright then, what have I received for actually completing this campaign? Ah! I think I've now the semi-auto precision rifle that Ghost was talking about. I like that. Alrighty. So, I'll call that the conclusion of at least this faction's run through Let's Play Titanfall, the campaign. As I mentioned, I'm a little disappointed with the mechanical aspect of the way that it works. It simply seems as though it's rushing itself, and I'm going to leave this so that I don't automatically connect to another match. And I've enjoyed this. I very much enjoyed the actual mechanical competition. The controls are smooth and responsive, and exactly the kind I enjoy very much in competitive titles. And so I simply lament that it was wasted insofar as its single-player campaign is concerned on such a lackluster execution. I'm absolutely enthralled with the multiplayer, and I still may acquire this outside of the limited Game Jam system through Origin, simply so that I can enjoy the multiplayer. I don't necessarily mean this as a condemnation of the game as a whole, not by a long shot. I very much still enjoy it. However, it's one that, upon completion of the campaign, I'm not sure I'd ever return to, as there's simply zero replay value there, unless there's some mechanical aspect to the replay value, such as unlocks, etc., that I'm simply unaware of. However, from an entertainment standpoint, nothing there to draw me back, to make me return to the Titanfall conflict. So, I am Mr. Black here at Last Level Press. I've been joined throughout this series by Ghost Protocol, whose channel, as always, I will link in the description below. And we wish you all, as always, good gaming, and Godspeed. I hear you moving. Where did you come from? Oh, where are you going? I know where you're not. Safe.